this recipe, you'll need cornstarch, paprika, Cajun seasoning, garlic powder, seasoned pepper or regular pepper if that's all you have, salt, beef broth, 2 pounds of ground beef, 1 package of frozen peas and carrots, I got the 12-ounce bag, and 1 yellow onion. So place your ground beef in a deep skillet and brown it. Make sure there's no pink. While you're browning, you can go ahead and add in your diced onions. Just cut them up to your desired size. I like mine pretty small for this recipe, but do whatever you like. Stir those in and kind of break up those big chunks of meat. You don't want big meatballs in your shepherd's pie, so I'm just stirring and trying to cut down those meatballs a bit. Alright, I'm adding in my seasoning. I put in about a teaspoon of garlic powder, probably a teaspoon or so of the Cajun seasoning, and I use Slap Your Mama. It's the best to me. I put it on everything, and I also added salt. But if you are trying to watch your salt intake, please omit this step because I really didn't think about it when I did it, but there's sodium in the beef broth and in the Cajun seasoning, so you really don't have to add in that extra salt. It'll be plenty seasoned without it, so you can omit that step if you're trying to watch your salt intake, or if you don't like your food, kind of overly seasoned. Just omit that step altogether. Next, I'm going to add 1 cup of beef broth and a cornstarch slurry, which is just 2 tablespoons of cornstarch mixed with 2 tablespoons of cold water. Now, if you don't like yours, with a gravy on it or kind of, I guess, a little bit runny, then you can add in less beef broth, or you can, add more cornstarch slurry, or you can sprinkle in some flour to kind of soak up more of that moisture. But I like mine to kind of have a gravy on it. That's my preference. Now I'm going to prepare my potatoes. I just use regular yellow potatoes. You can use whatever, kind of potatoes you like. Idaho potatoes, russet potatoes, but I use yellow potatoes, and I just cut them into halves, boiled them on medium high for about 25 minutes, and drained them in a colander. You want to get a potato masher or whatever you have on hand to mash your potatoes up. And I will be adding some softened cream cheese. I used an 8-ounce package. And oh, by the way, I used about 2 to 3 pounds of potatoes. I'm also going to add in some softened butter and some room temperature milk. You can either use whole milk or you can use half and half. I usually use half and half, but milk was all I had on hand for today, and it works just fine. I also added some salt, pepper, and garlic powder. Use whatever seasoning you like in your potatoes. You can leave them plain or you can season them. Just make it how you like it. Next, you're going to pour your meat mixture into a baking dish. Oh my gosh, y'all, that looks so good. This is exactly how I like it. But you see how there's a gravy there? If you don't like your shepherd's pie like that, you know, just cut down on the beef broth. But that's exactly the texture I was looking for. So once we do that, we're going to start pouring in our peas and carrots. Again, add as little or as much as you like. I used the entire bag because also those vegetables are going to soak up some of my gravy as well. And just stir that around. Use your spoon to kind of pack it down flat so that we can kind of create a bed for our potatoes. So we don't want lumpy shepherd's pie. That's not good. We want it flat and more kind of organized. We don't want it all lumpy. Next, spoon on your potatoes, as much or as little as you like. You know, the more potatoes you put on there, the thicker it's gonna be. And I personally don't like mine too thick, but do you? I make it how I like it. And a tip here, I tried to spread it out with that spoon and it literally started mixing everything up. So use the back of a fork to spread out your potatoes. That's gonna work a whole lot better than trying to use a spoon. Once you're done doing that, add some paprika to the top just for color and to make it pretty. And I also went ahead and added some parsley flakes also to, you know, make it look pretty. You're going to stick this in the oven at 400 degrees for 25 minutes or until it's nice and golden brown. And when you pull it out, this is what you'll have. Give this recipe a try. It was so good. I really enjoyed this shepherd's pie and I know you will too. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you next time.